Mission in Snowdriftland is a precision platformer. This game came from the talented minds at Tons of Bits in Germany. This game was originally a Flash game made to promote the holiday Nintendo games in 2006, and it was revived in 2010 to promote WiiWare games. This is a remake that took the game to a whole new level, bringing it to Unity. How late am I to this review? 4 years. Oopsie daisies. The premise of the game is Chubby the Snowman finally gets his big break to save the Lost Ark. I mean, the artifacts of retro games stolen by L. Pix, who has some sort of corrupted code in him, making him evil. And because no other video game mascot can take the heat, or should I say cold, of Snowdriftland, Chubby is chosen because he is a snowman. The cold never bothered him anyway. This game expects you to know how to play platformers. Unlike Celeste, this game has no checkpoints, meaning that we have to use pure muscle memory and pure ADHD. Please use a controller when playing this game. It makes it much easier. Take it from me, a laptop user. The game starts where all good games start. A nice level, of course, where you are always one step away from death. There are many collectibles like snowflakes and the glitchy pixels. You think that's it? Nah, we got the penguins of Madagascar, and their lost sister, Jeff, and a whale who will bring great misery to your bloodline. A polar bear who makes snow boulders, and you have to jump over them to get rid of them. Then we have Fishbone, or Bonefish, that loves jumping up and down throughout the levels. Why? They just like to. Don't think about it too much. It's a video game. The funnest mechanic so far in the first couple levels is going down the slide and going wee. We have thin ice platforms that, just like me, start falling apart under any pressure. Most normal ice platforms will slide down slightly when you move on them, kind of like a seesaw. The seals? No, not the Navy SEALs, you have to jump on top of them. Can hold the jump button to go a little higher. By the time you complete the game, the death sound will be burnt into every brain cell in your entire brain. When I die in 2 to 90 years, I will hear as my heart beats for the very last time. Man, that's dramatic as hell. The first boss fight will be incredibly annoying. You're in a cramped room, you have massive penguins that you can't avoid, and with a lack of space to move around, you have to long jump onto this enemy 3 times, or as you try to avoid each penguin. If you jump on top incorrectly, you will die. If you try to run past it, death. So yeah, the first boss was a bit frustrating, at least for me, when I was a young wee lad, like about a week ago. So, you know, it's kind of hard to debate with, like, if it was actually difficult or if I was just really bad at it. Forest. The forest is something fun. At first I thought these levels were easier because I had so much trouble with the first set of levels. Maybe the non-ice floor helped me understand the movement better. As if my understanding was placed on hold. I feel like maybe they should add a way to experience non-sleek surfaces to help players get used to movement more easily. Because as we all know, ice levels are much harder than the typical level, especially if it's an early level. Our enemies here are ants, tree creatures, spiders, and these snow boys. Also fire, just fire, or fire bug kind of thing. The third act is the mountain stages. The difficulty was slightly increased to have to deal with some funny enemies like these mammoths. You can enter their rear. Oh me oh my. Most of it is just more levels. It's pretty fun to move around like usual, and I think it looks neat. Wait, did I mention all the other bosses? Third act has this funny looking bird It is tricky to understand it, but after a while you start to understand the pattern. It swoops 3 times in the air, it will perch, and you can continue further. The fourth and final act is the caves, and it gets even harder. Lava and cold in one place. Holy moly, ham on guacamole, it looks beautiful. The color palettes are very opposing. Well done on the devs again. They added snakes, and they added another pain in the behind, the scorpion. All creatures that I think were just made to slow you down. They added these into the second to last boss, where you have to dodge upcoming acid, these scorpions, and not fall into the acid from the descending platform. Last boss fight is glorious. You have to hit the ship of Elpix to nix one of his hearts. It isn't too hard until they add the fire falling from above, making it almost a guessing game on how to avoid them, and add in the scorpions, and by this time you're at 1 heart, and you're basically in overtime, and you just have to beat it. And you get into this like stressed situation where you're going, oh god, I don't want to have to go through this all over again. I don't want to die again, please. But once you do, you are unchained, and you can feel happy. You can collect every single snowflake and every glitched pixel. Why would you do this to me, video game? I can't see half the ending because I didn't collect every single item, and I don't get the 2 special levels. Unfortunately, I'm not really willing to go through that even more for a review, but this game is fun. This game is fun and challenging. I would probably say that this is an older game. Like, this game is pretty difficult. I'd put it up with Celeste, kind of. Except, you know, Celeste is a little... I think maybe Celeste is a little more difficult than this game. I'm not old enough to decide on what old game difficulty was. Who do you think I am? James Angry Video Game Rolf? Because I'm not. Anyway, it's incredibly rewarding when you finally hit that treasure chest and get to see what's in store for you in the next level, and I want to rate this game an incredible, because it's incredible.